What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show 702. We just went live on Wimkin, and looks like we are on Spaces. And since it's only me tonight, I figure what I'll do is when I'm running solo, I'll turn Spaces on, because then it's not weird because when Amy's talking. But when Olivia and I are here, it's pumping into my system. But for some reason, Amy wasn't coming through last night, so that was confusing. So we're on Spaces. If you're not there, make sure you like, share, and follow. I've got some cool stuff going on. Olivia is running point. She's starting college. Pretty cool for her teaching credential stuff. And she'll be doing that Thursday nights. Folks, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Good to have you on the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Share, like, and subscribe, please. See you in just a few minutes.
Howdy, y'all. This is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever, we need individuals who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals. And I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Don't Unfriend Me Show. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show, folks. Got a beautiful little card. I know Iva Lee had sent something, and she had reached out and said, "Hey, Matt, did you get it?" We haven't gotten it yet. Olivia's going to write you an email, Iva Lee, and we will figure out what's going on. I guess she had sent a little something to help the show, and we're just waiting to find out where that is, and we'll let you know. It's always nice to get mail. We opened a P.O. box, a couple weeks ago, and we've gotten some nice things so far. A big thank you to all the Dummies hosts. Please continue the great work you all do. Cheryl Brandis sent us a USA style thank you card, and put that right back there. And wanted to say that we're trying to put that in the documents of freedom. Actually, for which it stands. So thank you, Cheryl, for that. And I'm sure Olivia will get that added to the coffers here shortly. We are 1402.77 due to your amazing contributions last night. Trust me, it was getting tight, and we had helped a few other places over the last few nights, and it's been getting a little tight. So thank you so much for helping. You guys can donate, linktapgo.com/thedumb show. If you watch the show, first time watching, you know what? Don't donate. Just watch and maybe like and share it, and that can help out. But if you've been a viewer for a long time, we consider ourselves a little like PBS, but we don't get government subsidies, and we don't get paid by the RNC or the DNC or anybody like that. We are self-funded. We are self-created. Everything you see here is created by myself and my wife. So if you want to help out, you can do that by going to linktapgo.com/thedumb show and hit donate or tip. And you'll get your name put up in lights and glory in Valhalla. There's Cheryl's 25. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Tonight, we're going to dive into a little bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed the shows. The shows have been more off the cuff, more live, a little less scripted. And the day before last, that show crushed. And then the next one was about Disneyland, and that one didn't crush. So, you know, I think that the recipe for success is the topic, and the style is immaterial if people are hungry for information. So we're going to continue to just kind of give the information in the best way that we know how we know how that's possible. And we'll kind of go from there. Tonight, we're talking about Donald Trump's campaign, where it's going, what he is, where he's at overall. There's some Kamala Harris and Tim Walz news, of course, and then some reactions from some influencers around the social media. So your questions, if you want to call in, if you want to say hi, if you want to yell, if you want to get upset with me or disagree or whatever, you can call in at 804-212-2208. We would appreciate it. We love to hear from people. The number is right underneath wimkin.com. If you have not seen that, and you can dial that. It might be a little small for you, but you'll be all right. You can just ask one of the mods. And we have several mods here who will be able to help you. You'll see them throughout the show posting links, and they are here for your for you. If you have any questions or how it kind of goes here, it's pretty simple. We ask you to be respectful of the people on the chat, and everybody has an opinion, whether you agree with it or not. If you want to make an argument, that's fine, but just try to do it without getting down into the lowbrow common denominator, and let's try to have an articulate conversation. Wimkin.com, folks, our sponsor. They are social media. We are owners in Wimkin.com and absolutely love it. Jason is a good friend of ours. He's the CEO. If you have not stopped over to Wimkin.com, please do so. It's free speech, social media. Everything you want to know, all the news you want to know, and then you can have an opinion without being banned or blacklisted. All right, now that we've done that, let's go into the one last thing, deal of the show, 15% off till 9 p.m. on everything on thedumbshow.com. It's kind of a little thing that we started with the shirt of the show.com, and then that got really difficult.com, so now we just went to deal of the show, 15% off.com, the entire store. For the 2 hours we do this. We hope it helps. Let us know what you think. All right. So tonight, anybody has any problems with the 15% off, let me know. I want to go into a couple of different things. I know there was some news that we did today, and I want to kind of recap in regards to Disneyland. There was a couple who went to Disney World, Florida, and ate at one of the establishments that's owned and operated by corporation or by Disney or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all leased through Disney. So they went in, and she had a peanut or nut allergy and lactose intolerant, and had a huge dairy allergy. And emphatically, as anyone who has an allergy of that magnitude, told the waiting staff about it and explained, hey, my food can't have this in it. And later, within an hour and a half or so, went into anaphylactic shock, used an EpiPen to no avail, and ultimately died. The gentleman, who obviously is the husband of this nice lady who is no longer with us, sued Disney for $50,000. Now, like I'm like, is there another zero or two after that? But no, there wasn't. Yeah, so this guy just probably was covering funeral expenses and any medical bills and anything else, and that was it. I mean, you don't get much more ethical and honest than that when it comes to somebody taking someone else to court. And what they did is that in 2017, he played on his PlayStation 4 and signed up for Disney Plus for a trial period. And I've done that. I put on Disney Plus just so I can get a movie, and then I let it cancel, and I don't care. But in there was terms and conditions that essentially the lawyers said it covers up to anything at any Disney store, any product, any ESPN sports bar, whatever, anything owned by Disney Incorporated, is that he cannot sue, and he waived his rights to sue Disney. To me, when you're a multi-billion-dollar company, I'm like, it's a drop in the bucket. Give him the 50, and throw a 0 at the end, and beg for his forgiveness, and make sure his family, whatever family he has, or they have children, has free passes to anywhere they want in the world at any time, at any Disneyland, in the highest resort, sitting in Cinderella's castle if they effing want to, and do what's right. Just baffles me. You killed somebody. It doesn't matter. It was negligent or it was just something stupid. So they're telling him he can't sue. And anyone who has participated in Disney's terms and conditions, whether it be Disney Plus or you sign a waiver when you go on a ride or whatever, you essentially can't sue Disney now because you've waived your terms and conditions. That's the policy and the precedent that they're setting. So if you haven't seen this video, go watch it. I think it's pretty good. And you should go take a listen to it. It's appalling. I mean, ridiculous. So obviously some of you haven't watched it because I believe what's happening is you don't even know it existed. And the reason why you don't know it exists is because Facebook throttled it. I guarantee it. If you put on 10 seconds of the Olympics, you get blackballed from YouTube and Facebook. If you think that they're not doing the same thing with Disney and protecting them, of course they are. Disney spends a plethora of money with Facebook and Twitter to ensure that their PR is protected. Go take a look. It's 52 likes. I haven't had a video with 52 likes since I had 300 people following my page. But you should watch it. It's ridiculous. And see if... listen, it's not something you have to worry about. Well, am I going to sue Disney tomorrow? But if I go into their parks and there's a mass shooting or one of their rides breaks down and you get hurt, your legal recourse is not if you've signed their terms and conditions. Horrible. And $50,000 is not a lot for a funeral, folks. That's nothing. Medical bills, I'm sure she went into the ER. Those were in the tens of thousands to try to save her life, of course. I don't care what insurance you have. And then you've got the ambulance ride, which is going to cost him $10,000. If they medevac, it's going to cost him $100,000. This is no joke. My father, when he had his heart attack in Pine Junction, Colorado, and had to fly him down to Inglewood, one of the best cardiac hospitals in the world, $175,000. Let me say it again. To medevac him by chopper from his house in Pine, Colorado to Inglewood, Colorado, $175,000. Now, it saved his life. It got him there. And Ivy Lee sent it to our home address. Well, okay, Ivy Lee, it's here.
Yeah, she just emailed me back and I was like, oh.
Astros are killing it, by the way. So, Ivy Lee, we're going to open our mail. This is like Blue's Clues. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We're going to open it right now. Pew! Thank you so much. Ivy Lee just sent us $100. Ivy Lee, you are amazing. We got it. It's safely in our hand. What a beautiful signature. I don't even want to cash it. I just want to kind of put it up and we take a photocopy. Is that legal? Can we go to jail for that? Secret Service? Sorry. Thank you so much, Ivy Lee. $100. Liv's going to put that into the show, and thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. It always means so much when you guys do things like that. We understand not everybody has credit cards. Liv is going to put it in chat, the P.O. box in chat. And hey, Yenny the cat came in with Mom and is like, where are you going, Mom? I want to cuddle. Yenny, come here. She's very upset. She doesn't have her mom tonight. She's like, no, you're not my mother. I'll come over and like rub your hand, but I'm not going to come up and see you. Come here. You can come see me? You can come see me? You gonna come see me? Come here. Come on. Come here, dork. I feed you. All right. That's all I get. All right. Anyway, Ivy Lee, thank you so much. Deal of the show, 15% off on thedumshow.com. So the whole thing is, if you haven't had a chance to see it, go see it. Go see it on Twitter, Wimkin preferred. And if you folks are sick and tired of not seeing our recorded videos that are done in the day, now you know how to do it. Go over to wimkin.com and you can watch them there. Twitter people, I'd love for you guys to contribute. And the hard part is I can't necessarily see you on chat. Twitter's been going crazy lately. So I'm watching chat. If you guys have something to say, let us know. I'll say something real quick. And if you don't follow us, please do. We would love to have you all on. And it seems like we get about 75 to 100 people on every night over on Twitter. So if you want to chat on Twitter, I'm going to try to watch that tonight and keep that going. All right. So obviously something to look at, right? It's insane. All right. See, if I have a question, please put in queue. It's always horrible without my wife here. Put in queue and start your question with that so I can see it. Would love to hear Matt's take on the rumors of Trump being sentenced to Rikers prison that are being put in the media by sources. One being Tony Saruga, a former CIA contractor. Tell us this won't happen. It won't happen. I'll tell you why it won't happen. No matter how much they hate Trump, no matter how much they hate the former president of the United States, no matter how much they hate what he stands for, putting him in prison is bad for business. It sets a precedent. And if you add felonious crimes of a serious magnitude that were under when he was president, thank you, Ivy Lee. There's her donation. We appreciate it. That puts us over the 1,500 mark. My God, thank you. We're almost halfway there. We hit 250 tonight. We'll be halfway. We were so scared. We were almost behind by $2,500 in the halfway point, and we're just like, you know, this is what it costs to run the show. This is what it costs to have a few $100s in our pockets and pay for the show. So we are trying to do our best to keep it as minimal as possible, but this is what it costs. So it's not cheap to run this damn thing. And I can break it down for you one night. I'm sure you'd be interested. But I don't imagine that he will be thrown in prison. Thank you, Christine. Appreciate you very much. I don't imagine that they'll put him in prison, especially the reason why. And listen, I could be wrong. It's just a gut feeling that it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Richard Nixon didn't go to prison. Bill Clinton didn't go to prison, lying under oath. There were definitely things that Barack Obama did, that Ronald Reagan did, Bush did, that, excuse me, that they should all go to prison for certain things that they did, if Donald Trump should go to prison for what they're saying he did. And in the sense is, what they're saying is the document scandal, which has been thrown out. So that's gone. You're talking about Georgia, supposedly election interference. That's not going to get him prison time. And then you've got the situation with January 6th, which is an unprovable fallacy of just a bunch of Democrats putting two rhinos on the stage and pretending that that's somehow a fair and balanced investigatory body, and it's not. So Donald Trump, what he did is essentially what they're saying is the bribery of Stormy Daniels is what should bring down his presidency. It's a joke. Listen, they hate this man. They're going to do whatever they can to destroy him. And listen, you've got to. The one thing that I will say is 4 years I've challenged Trump. I've questioned him, but I've never been disloyal in the sense of I think he should be in prison. I think Donald Trump needs to clean up the some of the messes on aisle 4 and 5 once in a while. I think he needs to stop going after Kamala Harris the way he is, calling her stupid and dumb and questioning her ethnic background. Let your pundits do that. Let the weekend talk shows do that. I'm going to give some advice to Donald Trump later in the show. And it seems that when I say things, they tend to happen. We'll see if it happens this time. So to let you know, no. Question, can he not sue on behalf of his wife's estate? I assume she wasn't the one that signed up for Disney Plus. Yeah, and he can certainly do that, but it's per household is the language. I've read it. So every PS5 and Xbox, PS4 is assigned to a household. And when you put it there, it's assigned to your address, your email, your first and last name, and then a credit card. Especially if you're going to sign up for Disney Plus, you have to put in your address. So it would be covered for household. That's the way they get you. Thoughts on Bongino's charges on Kellyanne? Tina, I didn't hear, so you should call me. You should call in and let me know. We talked the other night, so call into the show and tell me what happened. I didn't hear what happened with Bongino, and I'll give you my thoughts. I have a feeling I know it's probably what I said. I've been saying that about Kellyanne Conway for 2.5 years. So let me know. I trust Bongino. I don't always agree with Bongino's style, but people don't agree with my style. But I pretty much always agree with his analysis. It's pretty spot on. But call me. Let me know. Before you do, let's or call, and then we can switch this. I want to show you a video that I was watching before I came on, and I thought it was kind of moving. And I don't know what this is going to say. I don't know if this lady's a Republican or a Democrat, but the first 15 seconds kind of pulled me in. So she very much could just rip on Trump. I have no idea. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. I wanted to listen to it, and maybe you'll listen to it with me, and we can kind of uncover what we think about it together. Let me know in the comments. Here it is.
I need this message to go out to our vice president, who's running for president. I have heard all over social media about, excuse me if I say anything wrong, immigrants getting loans, money. It was hard for me to believe. It was just extremely hard for me to believe. I've been in business such a long time. Back in 2019, I purchased my first food truck. It cost me over $25,000. I paid it cash money. I worked hard to pay for this truck. I'm now selling it because I'm doing other things, but I'm selling it. I had a guy come to look at purchasing my vehicle or my food truck, and he explained to me he's an illegal immigrant. He has no credit. He has no money in the bank. But he showed me his paperwork that he will receive funds to purchase my food truck. I'm thankful that he's buying it, but I'm hurt that I worked so hard to pay cash for my food truck. I have good credit, can't even get a business loan because of the color of my skin. I have veterans in my family. I'm a veteran. I've been self-employed for so long. But somebody, please tell me, how do I work so hard to have somebody who comes to this country, not long, no credit, and he shows me paperwork where they'll be funding him money to buy my food truck. And when I talked to the bank, they told me usually they have to go straight to a dealership because I'm a private sale. But for special circumstances, they're going to, they allow it. But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money. Money! We're doing nothing but just being here. It's not right, and I want answers.
That's sad. I don't give a shit that she played the race card. Who cares? We've all said things that are not right when we're mad and we're emotional. I did the other night. I got a ton of anxiety and with Jason, and we were trying to figure out how to get Scott on, and I just, I got frustrated, and at certain points I don't know what I was saying, and that's just, getting hit way too hard in the head, and not being able to respond sometimes to the way I want to. I don't care that she played the race card. She has every right to think that it's because she's black. What else has she heard her entire life? That it is because she's black. Every problem she has is because she's black. So Let's let these people have an awakening. You know what I mean? Let's give them some time before we jump down their shit and say, "Oh, you're playing the race card." You know what? We got to remember, folks. There is racism out there simply because of the color of her skin. There are people who hate her because she's black. There are people that hate her because she's a woman. They hate her because she's not a size 6. The world is an ugly place, and people are horrible. It doesn't mean that every single lending institution is racist, but I will tell you this. And I know this personally, as a retailer, I racially stereotyped my customers. I'm not going to lie. I had customers come into my store at Apple and they're wearing parkas in the middle of summer and pants around their ankles, and we watch them closer than the white people. Why? Because they're the ones that always stole from us. That's just the truth. Those little gangbangers they're easy to spot, and they ripped us off. And every time they would, I saw people in grocery stores and running an Applebee's when we would take checks from white customers who the bank declined, but we wouldn't take it from black customers. Does that mean that everybody is systemically racist? No, but there is a risk versus reward mentality at times that probably is a little difficult to handle. We don't have to make it about as people. Okay, listen. If somebody says something, 99% of it is the most heartfelt thing you've heard in a while. I mean, I'm in tears. That rocked me to the core. That just hurts. That hurts because she's selling because she has to, not because she wants to. And probably nobody else is buying. But when the government's giving out free money to illegals and they ultimately know that if they just go ahead and give that $1,200 a month that they're getting to this lady, that they can make $3,000 and send more money back, that they're going to make that investment. And that's got to be hard. And it would be easy for us to say, don't sell to an immigrant, illegal immigrant. Well, I don't know the entire parameters of the conversation. I don't even know if this person's illegal. This person may just be an immigrant. I don't know. I don't know the whole story, but her perception isn't fact. But her heart is real. Her emotion is real. Her feelings are real. And dare I say that, God, I skip over too many things like this. I don't let things like this get to me anymore. And damn it, I'm going to, because this is important. This is what humanity should be about. It shouldn't be about me making fun of her and saying, playing the race card. 99% of what she said was moving and sad and horrific, and we all can relate to it. You know? Yeah, Tuner said it best. Nobody else can afford to buy her out. Yeah. Joseph makes a good point. Trump said the illegal immigrants are going to take black jobs. Is that racist or true? I don't think it's just black jobs. I think it's, you know, and I don't understand when people say, what do you mean black jobs? Give me a break. People, okay, either you want to be recognized that there are problems with the quality of life and work that you have in the inner city, or you don't. Which one is it? If we can't talk about it and we can't address it, then we can't fix it. And if we can't fix it, then you need to stop complaining about it, right? So black jobs, yes, we need more black jobs. We need higher quality black jobs. Just like we needed more jobs in the mining industry and in the steel working industry. Nobody's like, what do you mean steel worker jobs or iron worker jobs or blue collar jobs? What are you trying to say about me? Give me a break. Black jobs. Yes, we need better black jobs. I said it. Who cares? We need better white jobs too. Yeah, but I wouldn't devalue what she has to say because of the race card. That out of all the things she said, there was so much more to it than just the race card. You know what I mean? I think we tend to listen to to disprove our commitment of feeling to a person. It's like, we're not going to give you any emotion or any feeling until you prove to us that you're on our side. And once you prove that you're on our side, oh, then we're sad for you. But if this lady would have told the same story, but blamed Trump somehow in 2018, would we be empathetic? I don't know if we would. But because we know she's focused on Kamala Harris, oh, what she says is just great. I think that's wrong. We got to find a way to have empathy, not sympathy. But we can be empathetic. Like, okay, you know what? That sucks. First and foremost, your business going under and you had to sell it, no matter whether it was successful or not, or whatever. You put your heart and soul. That's a horrible thing, and I'm terribly sorry. Were you letting me know because you wanted to have a conversation, or are you just trying to get it off your chest? Trying to get it off my chest. Okay, cool. Well, hug and a tap on the back, and let's get back in there. Rub some dirt on it, right? But if you actually want to have some dialogue, I have some questions in regards to why you're blaming President Trump, or why you're blaming Kamala Harris, or why you're not blaming Joe Biden, and why you think the bank didn't give you a loan because you're black. See, that's what I think the step we miss, and why we're so disconnected as a group of people, is we forget to ask permission to have a conversation with people. And I'll tell you, you'll be amazed if you just say, hey, can I ask you a couple questions about this? Actually, no, I really don't want to have a conversation with you. Oh, okay, cool. See ya. Thank you for not wasting my time. But when people are like, yeah, sure. And then you ask them a question, they get all pissy. And I'm like, I thought you wanted to have a conversation. No, I don't want you to ask me questions. Oh, well, that's what a conversation is. So have a nice day. It's so much. It saves me a ton of time. And Amy Stamcombe will tell you, and the moderators will tell you, that's what I do with people. Hey, can I ask a question? Hey, I got something to say. I was wondering if you could, or I wait for them to throw monkey poo first. But this lady doesn't deserve our ire because she said she didn't get a loan because she was black, because it's true. It happens. It does. And you know what? You can tell me it doesn't, but it does. Because I've seen it. And I know I've seen people with a 650 credit score get credit at Apple. I've seen black people at 650 not get it. Right there alone, you have to ask yourself the question, what's the determining factor? If they both have a 650, that means that their debt to income ratio is the same. It means that their time to pay is the same. Any defaults are the same. Any negligible credit is the same. Any strikes or credit checks are the same. So what's the difference? Their zip code? Okay, well, that's a demographic issue and breaks down to race. If they have a 650, their income, everything, it's all the same. So why do they get turned down? It's because they're black. I'm sorry. You don't have to like that, but that's the truth. How do they know they're black? It's not hard to figure out by zip code, folks. It's not hard. And these creditors base it upon where they live and home values. And they start breaking into their overall net value outside of their salary. This is all information that's available. I'm not saying that every single bank is racist. What I'm saying is that racism most assuredly exists. Of course it exists. And that shouldn't be the deciding factor on that video. That video should make you want to cry. Because if it gets to me, it should get to you. We as Republicans have worked so hard to get rid of racism in this country just to have the Democrats to bring it back. That's not a bad idea. That's true. Kamala and Joey have all but ruined my small business. I'm pissed. Yeah, I would be too. She's standing for Americans, Carl says. She sure is. Yeah, I would love to have her on my show. I'm going to try to find her, actually. I'll see what I can do about finding that video, where the link is. Let me see if I can find it right now. Yeah, her name's Cherise Lane. Thank you, Stumpy. I think her name's Cherise Lane. No, Cherise Lane. Oh. It's from a guy at love_for_Leah2. Let's see if I can find her. At love _4_ Leah 2. Oh, I did it wrong. What's new? I don't know if there's a space in there or what. Hold on. Last chance. Let's see. I don't know what I did wrong. Doesn't matter. That's it. I'll try to find her. We'll see. But we'd love to have her on the show. Just something to think about. Yeah, Loretta says I just heard her pain and got angry with her. Yeah, exactly. I just got sad, you know? Carrie says, I can relate to her because I struggled to get my business going 47 years and I wanted to retire. 15 other businesses like mine popped up because the government gave them COVID money to buy everything they needed, including the building. Right, but you just said that she played the race card. So I don't know if you can relate. You can relate based upon COVID, but I think, you know, Carrie, this is one of those times where I disagree with you in your comment that she played the race card. Like I said, 98%, 99% of what she said was so much more. I just wish we would start listening to the whole thing and then saying, you know what, let's give her a pass. She's at least the tears are real. This isn't Harry Sasson crying over tears of joy for Kamala Harris. Give me a break. Terrence Williams page. Yeah, I'm sure he has it on there. I own my home and car free and clear. I pay my bills. I applied for a Lowe's credit card and was denied. I think if I owe money, banks will loan you money. Yeah, credit scores are retarded. Sorry for saying retarded. My dad is in his mid-70s and still plugging away in his garage, working on cars. He never put any money away in all of his years working, running his own businesses. It is sad. He should be comfortable now. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't think I'm worried about that. I'm not putting anything away. I had to blow through all my savings in COVID. So we're like, this show has got, I mean, in the next 2 years, this show has to take off to a point where, you know, we can start putting it away. If not, I got to go back in the corporate world, which I have no desire to. Kevin posted in the show chat. Thank you, Kevin. Don't white people that live in certain zip codes get refused credit too? Of course. But that's not what we're talking about. She's not white. She's black. Of course. That's why I said, if it's two people, a white and a black person, and they have a 650 credit score and the black person's turned down, it's because of their zip code. The same holds true for a white person. But we're not talking about a white person right now. We always talk about white people. We're white. We're talking about a black person tonight. God forbid. Oh, we're talking about a black person, Shane. And I'm not saying you're challenging that. I'm just saying we're talking about a black lady. But yeah, of course, white people are turned down as well. Okay, something to think about. I just that pisses me off. You know what I mean? It's not right. Here's a video that I saw that it's kind of video night tonight. If you guys want to call in, call in. I'm so sorry, Matt. What are you sorry about? My savings? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, listen, a lot of people don't know this story, so I'll do it quickly. I was working for Apple, and it was my 5th year, and I had a lot of stock, and I was doing very well financially. I mean, working for Apple is very lucrative. Like, they pay 400 or 500% more than anyone else. I mean, it's the Super Bowl of retail. If you get to Apple, you've done it. And the thing is, it's actually harder to work for Apple than it is to get into Harvard. That's the truth. Harvard has an acceptance rate of like 11% of qualified people, 7% higher at Apple. It's impossible to work for Apple. So the fact that I worked for Apple for 5 years, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. But this is when the stock hadn't split, and we were doing well. I think we had our first $175,000 in stock in the first year. And that's including salary. And then that just accumulated after 5, and we were doing really well. And some things happened in our lives that we had to take care of. But one was a debilitating back surgery that put me down for a year, which took a lot of our savings, you know, helping people, putting money not necessarily where it was going to be returned to us. But left Apple after my addiction and struggling through that, and decided it wasn't where I needed to be anymore, that I had burned bridges based upon the addiction to the oxy and the hydrocodone, and trying to struggle through all my surgeries. I didn't feel like I was the person anymore that they knew. And I don't think they wanted to know me as that person ever again. But I don't think I had the courage to go back. So I left. And I went to NBC Comcast in Texas, and I ran Texas, 5 different divisions: retail, indirect, direct, business, EDU, all that stuff. And did that for about 3 years. We've got these little tiny flies that hatch. They come up through the storm drain, and gosh, I've been having a war with these sons of guns. And I'm not cussing tonight, and I haven't cussed last night. So the fact that I'm not cussing is a huge thing. If I find one more in my drink, I swear to. Anyway, so I went to Comcast, and I did that, and it was great. I was on the pathway to VP, and everything was good. And some things happened at Comcast that I didn't really like, and it was a mutual parting ways of I need to find something that I want to do. But one thing I love working at Comcast was VetNet, and it's a veteran network group, and I got to kind of tie back into the veteran community, and it really inspired me. And I wanted to go work for Flags of Valor, so I did. And that was a very funny experience. I have nothing but positive things to say about Flags of Valor. They're amazing people, good quality people, great flag company. Brian Stortz and Joe are good guys. We didn't hit it off. They expected something of me that is not who I was. And I think there was a miscommunication in our overall job requirement. So what I did is I delivered results that, without a black swan event, that were equal to the previous year after they were on Fox and David Muir, Nightline, and all this, which brought them, $300,000-$400,000. I brought them a Q4 that was flat, which is a huge success. And then COVID hit. And I just don't think it made sense. They were looking around, and they're like, this guy's been with us for 6 months. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you. And they had a decision to make. They had lost 66% of their revenue, and they're like, we just brought this guy on. He was from a big corporation. We gave him a huge salary. What do we do? And they kept me on as long as they could. They gave me, $32,000 a year during COVID. And what else was I going to do? Nobody was hiring. So I took it. But I had to stop and reinvent my entire lifestyle. It's $175,000 a year down to 32. What was I going to do? Well, I had to go through savings. And then I had to reinvent myself. So after Flags of Valor finally said, we got to let you go. And it was tough. It was a tough conversation. And I've spoken to them afterwards, and we've all kind of just let the water clear. Brian and I are kind of like meh. And Brian and I never really loved each other. We're both alpha, and we just don't really see eye to eye. I have nothing ill to say about him. We don't see eye to eye. And Joe and I, Joe's a real smart guy, elite guy, officer, whatever. But either way, there's this mentality of that we may not have left on the greatest of terms, but I think at least there's a mutual respect, or at least enough where I can say, I really appreciate who they are and what they do, right? And when they let me go, I was angry because I'm like, I put my whole life on the line for you guys. What the, But it doesn't matter. It was over. And luckily, Valor came in, and it's a roofing company, and I had to reinvent myself. I came in there for like $42,000 a year. And they're like, we'll give you a bonus and all this. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I started doing marketing for them, and then I turned that into a vice president position, and I wound up getting $175,000 again and busted my butt. And so that's twice I've had to reinvent myself in a period of 2 years and go out and find a job and create something out of nothing. And then we did it again with the DUM show. And the DUM show started off our first year. I think it was like 32,000 we wrote off on tax because starting the business. The next year was like 21. I think we had a $57,000 a year the third year, but we reinvested like 38. And this year we were net positive. We were on the pace of doing $150,000 to $200,000 on the show. And Facebook cut our legs out from underneath us, and we lost 90 some odd % of our revenue. And then you guys saw what happened with Spreely. So it's been a tough 4 years. And you have to stop and reflect and ask yourself, hey, wait a second. Is it me? Am I doing this? And you got to stop and reflect and go, okay, this is just some series of bad luck. And so yeah, there's no reason to be sorry. It's just most people know the story. That's why we didn't take donations for 3 years, because I had a full-time job. I was able to come on in the morning early, wake up, hit some comments and post some memes, come back at night, do the live show, do a recorded show, and still perform 60 hours a week on my job and do it well. And then that's gone. So there it is. No, Elaine, I'm just telling you the story. You're not ridiculing me. I'm just letting you know the story. Just so you have an idea. And that's what that's what I do, is tell stories. So that's why we take donations. And that's why it's so critical when people help. And we're so appreciative, because without you, this show goes away. And that's the truth. If without your assistance, without your help, it poofs. So there it is. Just thought I'd tell you. This video I saw in regards to, I want to be really clear. These are not horse flies. These are little gnats, but they're fast moving gnats, and they pop every year around this time with the weather. And because we're on a well, they come up through the sink drains, and we've put bleach down there. We've done everything. So they're just horrible. Anyway, and it's not like there's a shit ton of them. There's just like one per room, and they're so fast. Little bastards. I want to pull their wings off. Anyway, to me, this is a dangerous thing. Okay. I love it when these guys go around and find pedos. And I know people say pedos, but it's not pedos. It's not Pedialyte. Pedo. Pedophilia. Pedo, not pedo. Pedo would be P-E-E-D-O. It's like people say GIF instead of a GIF. It's a graphic interface. It's GIF. GIF is J-I-F, like the peanut butter. G-I-F is GIF. It's a GIF. No, it's not. You're an idiot. You can't pronounce anything. What's wrong with you? Pedos. No. Pedo. Anyway, I love these guys that go around. I love the Nightline and, the gotchas, and they catch these idiots who prey on children. Yes, good. Kill them. String them up. Castrate them. Shoot them. 100%. But these guys who are going out there and doing this for clicks, I don't know, man. I believe you should have the police there, and a lot of them have the police come afterwards, but I don't know. I know that when the police came knocking on my door one time, I was so embarrassed. Like, the fight or flight wanted to kick in, and the only reason fight or flight didn't kick in is because of my training and background. What stream pays the most? None of them. Go to Wimkin. Wimkin is where you guys need to go, because I believe in Wimkin more than anything. I do. I believe in what they're doing over there. They've got a great community. They need people over there. If you're not over there, go over there. You can still go to Facebook, but do that. But you got to be careful nowadays. And I can understand if these guys are suited up, Dog the Bounty Hunter style, and have flak vests, and they've got pepper spray and, mace balls and all that other stuff. Fine. But the fight or flight kicks in, and one of these people are going to get shot. And this guy almost gets killed. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful. So I understand what this guy's trying to do, and I commend him for it. But you don't come in a T-shirt with a beard and look like you are preying on children too. You should be a little more professional. You should be a little bit more conscientious of your environment and have an understanding around operational security, and to recognize the signs when somebody is dangerous. Watch this. You guys tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm here for?
No.
It's about Emily on Facebook. The girl kind of talking to you a little bit.
Who?
Emily on Facebook.
I don't have Facebook. You sure it's for the right person?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just on this Facebook account here. Just the girl that's been just chatting you up. I don't think she's met you or anything. Just talking online. That one.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of ringing a bell now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am curious about one thing because kind of looking through all of your messages online.
How do you like get access to all that stuff?
Well, we go in from the other person.
Want to say thank you to Keith Baker. Just ordered for Which It Stands collection. Excited. That's a good thing. That'll be ready. I'm going to work with Arcadia Publishing. I got to get a hold of them tomorrow. And there's some series of books that I want to get. And we're going to get the Documents of Freedom back. A lot of people are asking about that too. So here we go.
Person's account. We don't go in through your account.
Oh, I'm talking about Telegram and stuff. How do you get access to my Telegram?
Well, you gave your Telegram to Emily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went in through my Telegram like that?
Correct. So.
Well, that's illegal. So.
Well, hold in.
I'll get my cop friends.
Hold in. I didn't say we went into your Telegram account. I just said we can monitor activity on there.
My family is in law enforcement.
Well, hold on a second.
You're
man.
on my property right now. If you don't get off right now.
Hold in.
I will
you wait. Hold in. Wait a second. Hold in.
I give you 2 minutes to get off.
Hold in.
If you don't, I'm coming out with an AR.
Hold on. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. This nigger's crazy.
Come on. You're not moving fast enough.
Dude.
I remember your face and I remember his face. And let me get your license plate.
Hold in.
Oh, Texas. 16.
All right. Hold in.
You got a short life ahead of you, bud.
He's a spaz.
So, I'm all about it, but you're not a cop, and you may be an ex-cop, or you might be a private investigator. I don't know, and I hate to come down on the side of Holden, because Holden's a loser who deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, and have some guy named Bubba basically make him his wet boy. But you got to be careful. You know, and the reason why is because you're making it dangerous for others. Because let me explain why, okay? This is why I struggle with this. Not because I don't think it's awesome and I think they should grab these guys and just do every possible thing that you could do to ensure that they no longer can stand upright ever again. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate you, Bubba. The thing I have a problem with is that you're riling this guy up and you're giving him a heads up that the next knock on his door is going to be the police, and what could happen to those cops. That's where I struggle. That's where I struggle. Is you're giving him a heads up. He just says he has an AR, and now you're going to send cops to his door as you poke the hornet's nest. What it should be, honestly, is once you notify the police, they're going to arrest this guy. And maybe what you do is you don't get the video of him calling and talking to you or showing up and you're face to face. And that's not going to give you clicks. But is it for clicks, or is it to go ahead and clean up these guys and clean up these chat rooms and protect our children? I understand this guy has a job. I understand he has a go-to. I understand I do the same thing and comment and give a perspective, but I'm not putting my life in danger to do so. And if I am, I have the necessary steps to protect myself, and have successfully for 4 years and received many death threats. The only reason I have not been probably accosted at one point or approached is because people know what's behind me, people know what's to the right of me, and people know what I always carry. Nobody's coming in this house. Because they know, holy crap, if I go, it's gonna be my life. This guy is walking in unarmed with a sweaty t-shirt, looking like he just rolled out of bed, hadn't had a haircut in a month, and thought it would be cool to go to this guy's house, not recognizing what the threat he's facing. He doesn't know anything about this guy. He doesn't know if this guy's on meds. He doesn't know if he's tweaked out of his mind. You don't know if he just got done axing somebody in the bedroom. I guess my point is, it's not bravery to do stupid things. So I would just like to see a little bit more professionalism. And how that works is you don't go to his house. You hit him up when he's at a Walmart. And there's plenty of guys that do this who bring bodyguards and bring armed guards to protect them and confront these people. And they tell them, we're going to help you with your situation if you go ahead and allow us to interview and talk to you. We'll talk to the police and say you were cooperative, and it will help your court case, or don't. And that's that. But they usually do it in a public place, and the police are right there, ready to go, and they're on the phone with the police, and they notify the police that they're done with the conversation. They want to go ahead and make a citizen's arrest, or they want to notify, and then the police pick them up. And that's a benign situation. When you go to somebody's house and you allow them to go in the door, and you don't literally exfil, you're just asking to get shot. I mean, that guy could have grabbed an AR and could have killed everyone. Because in this guy's eyes, he's going to jail. He's a pedo. He's going to jail for a long time. This might be his third offense. This guy might be toast. So my point is, I just think people should be careful. That's all. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? I mean, I like to watch it. There's no doubt it's like watching an ambulance chase. But don't we all think, holy crap, this guy's going to get capped one of these days if he keeps doing this? That's just my opinion. I'm glad he's doing it. Donald Trump. This one's going to make you mad. Do it with me if you have a computer. Go to Google. So go to google.com. And when you're there, let me know when you get there. You can do this on your phone. You can do this on your desktop. So as I was getting ready for the show, I saw a post that said, Joe Biden did this. Joe Biden, I think I've got the clip. No, I don't. Essentially, Joe Biden, what he did is he simply went on and he said, Project 2025, you beat the hell out of them. And I was like, I'm so sick and tired of them connecting Project 2025 to Trump. What about Agenda 47? So I'm going to go ahead and type in Agenda 47 into Google, and I'm going to get the link so I can link it to Harry Sasson and all these jerks and say, he's not, Project 2025 isn't his. You're going to go beat the Heritage Foundation. Okay, fine. Go beat up the Heritage Foundation. We don't care. Trump has an agenda. Kamala doesn't. Just go to his website. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the Agenda 47 and look. It's not here. National Archives. The President's Management Agenda. Trump's Agenda. County Democratic Party. Department of Transportation, Biden-Harris. Trump's Agenda 47. Des Moines Democrat newspaper. It's all the way down at the bottom, and it's not even on the phone. Here it is, finally. You wonder if Matt blocked you. What are you talking about, John? What do you mean if I blocked you? Blocked who? Where? How? What? Social media? I don't understand. Which John is this? Oh, God. So my point is that the President of the United States' future wants to be. You do a search for Agenda 47. And watch this. Even if I put in Agenda 47 Trump, watch this. Because I clicked on it, it shows up. But if I wouldn't have, it's like 75 newspapers. Washington Post, New York Post, Los Angeles Times, Dallas Star. It's all over there. And nothing leads to Trump. So even if you want to find Donald Trump, you have to go through all the negative about it beforehand. Now, the reason I understand this is Vicky sent me something. It says, if you ask Alexa if Trump got shot, she will say no. There was two attempted assassinations. I don't care much about John. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You wouldn't be able to comment if you were blocked. So if you're just trying to look up Agenda 47, you can't. because it's not going to link it. And it's buried, and people don't go to the bottom 12 search functions. Donald Trump needs to ensure that he is paying for those top spots on Google. Anytime somebody puts in Trump, those keywords, Trump, Agenda 47, Make America Great Again, MAGA, Red Wave, and it's going to cost him millions. But that's what the Democrats are doing now. The Democrats are buying keywords on Google and buying keyword search and paying for that so it redirects to their site. Donald Trump's losing that war. He's absolutely losing that war. If you go look up the number one search terms in the United States right now, the two things are Kamala Harris and Donald J. Trump. And when you go ahead and type in with my search history, Act Blue, first number one, boom. Number one, Kamala Harris sponsored website for donations. That's on my search history. All positive articles, Washington Post, Rolling Stone, The New Yorker, Kamala for president, Facebook, Kamala, White House, Kamala, Instagram, Kamala, YouTube, Kamala, New Yorker, Kamala, all of her tweets, Wikipedia, Kamala. Paid for it by the National Committee of the official Donald Trump site. That wasn't here earlier. Now Donald J. Trump home. But New York Times, negative, negative, NPR, negative, negative. Presidential Library, National Archives, Instagram, not too bad. But this wasn't here, which means that Google is obviously reading my web traffic and changing it around based upon my search history and function. But if I am a brand new person who is trying to access the internet to find information, and I haven't really looked at either of this stuff, it's going to default to the negative on Donald Trump. It just proved that. See, John says that did not show for me. Of course it didn't. The only reason is because I clicked on Kamala. And that's what happens. And that's what Google does. Agenda 47 is out there for everyone to look at. I don't even know if people even know how large this is. But if you go to platform here and you look at Agenda 47, it's all right here. But if you want to read more, there's an entire PDF. This is the RSC. If you go to, this is the one that's the good one, DonaldTrump.com. And it just shows that the RNC is just horrible. Sorry. Didn't cuss. See, I want to find the other one that's better than this. I got to see where it's at, because this one has videos and a full breakdown. It took me like 3 hours to look at the site. It's not Donald J. Trump. Maybe it's Trump Jr. No, it's not. I don't know. I don't know which one. I'll have to find it, but it's not nearly as good as this. This sucks. The one that I saw had every pages and pages with videos with Trump speaking on it. Hundreds of them. Hundreds. It's not here anymore. What I need to do is go get a press pass. And I've been thinking about it for a while. But if I'm going to get involved in this, I need to do it right. And I'm going to go to Donald J. Trump's rallies, start hitting them, doing a little travel, and go out and do that. And we can raise money for him, sponsor him, and get out there and start covering them. I think it'd be important to do so. But yeah, I will get you guys the link. I'll get you guys the link. And it has everything you need. 100%. Everything you need about Agenda 47. And that's the way it should be. You should be able to type something in and have it right at your fingertips. And it's not out there. Here is Here's a video. And I want you to listen to Donald Trump here, because this is an interesting one. Yep, that's Thomas. That's what I had. Like I can show you my phone. I go into my phone. I type in Agenda 47. It's all just trash talk from news media about Agenda 47. There's nothing about Donald Trump, and that's on my phone. Yeah, I want you guys to listen to this. This is an interesting one. Here it is.
Many of your allies who...
Oh, the second thing, besides paying for top spots on all social media sites and on all Google search, is, I've said this before, this guy has got to get a network of social media influencers and get behind him. What he's doing is he's going with the big cats like Benny Johnson and Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that's great. Those people aren't going to switch. You got to go with the smaller time shows. Shows like mine. Guys like Damani Felder. Guys like Terrence Williams. You got to go with the shows that are on the precipice of doing really, really well. The 200,000-300,000 shows, because those shows usually are the people who are disenfranchised with the bigger names like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and everything else. That's what you need. And you've got to get those people working for you 24 hours, 7 days a week. The money that needs to be put into this is huge. Here's the video.
You to win in November, say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message. Do you agree? And also, you added more people to your campaign today. Yeah. Is that a sign of a shifting strategy?
No, I think it's a sign of we want to close it out. We have great people. Susie is fantastic, as you know, and Chris is fantastic. They're leading it. Corey Lewandowski's coming in. He'll be, personal envoy, or he'll be at some level. They're going to be, they're doing a great job. Look, we've taken, with all of the abuse we've taken from the fake news media, all of this horrific abuse we take, and all I want to do is make the country great. All I want to do is have strong borders and good education. We want to have choice for education. So important, so many different things. You would think it would be the other way. We rebuilt the military. We did so many great things. But that's the way it's been for Republicans, and I guess more so for me than anybody in history, and that's okay, because we're leading in the polls. For the most part, we're leading in the polls. We were leading Biden by a lot. We're leading now, but I think when she's exposed, I think we're going to beat her by a lot more than we would have beaten Biden by, because he had a little group of people that have been voting for him for a long time. She doesn't have that. People don't know who she is. As far as the personal attacks, her, because of what she's done to the country. I'm very angry at her that she'd weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry at her. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence. And I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I take no issue with Donald Trump calling her out like that when she calls him out. It's great. It's fine. It's human. It's a good answer. It addresses the problem. He's right. The honeymoon's going to be over. They're going to go ahead and see her and remember why they don't like her. This is normal. A new candidate has entered the mix. The hype is going to be there. People are going to say, because it's the name that they have on their lips right now. That will not be the forever pill. I have no problem with Donald Trump doing just that. As far as anything else, bringing Lewandowski in, I don't have much of a problem with that. I don't think Corey Lewandowski is a bad guy. I think he's a bulldog. I think he's good. I think he's going to hit her hard. He's a good policy-focused individual. He'll keep Trump on message. I think it's needed right now. I think they need a little swagger in their step, and Lewandowski brings that. Do I believe that he's the guy to bring him home? No. Who's the guy to bring him home? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. That is his job. What's going on with troll? Which trolls? I don't see the trolls. I'm not sure which trolls we're talking about. Maybe someone can let me know. Why is he not calling her and her VP pick out on their socialism communist positions? There's a reason why. It's because you only get to play that and ring that bell once. And he's going to wait to find out what her positions are so then he can throw them at her. Because right now she can just deflect and say, listen, I'm the vice president of the United States. You know, I've got to back my president. But when she comes out with her platform in the next couple days, you're going to start hearing that ramp up because they want to see what she's going to put in there. And because if she goes against Joe Biden's current policies, then the questions are, why did you stand behind him and say he was the right man for the job? And then now you're changing all of his policies. And if she stands by all of his policies, then you can just get to say, hey, she's going to do the same thing for 4 years, but more of a socialist progressive than Joe Biden was. Can you imagine where we're going to be after they had a $2.5 trillion deficit? How do you anticipate they're going to be after the Green New Deal and after Medicare for all and after. So the Trump campaign's waiting till after the DNC. It's smart. Let them do the DNC. Let them get their message out and then break it apart. But if you start attacking Joe Biden's policies and then she does a 180, well, what are you going to do? Where do you go from there? So let her hang herself. It's just smart to wait. Yeah, Lewandowski was with him in 2016. Lewandowski is going to bring a social media push to it, and that's what he needs. He needs a social media presence. I wish, listen, I don't know Donald Trump. He didn't know me from Adam. I wish he would tap me because I would give him the greatest social media platform. I have built companies in 3 months for social media. He needs a social media group. He needs a full-time 200-person staff working social media for him. Controlled counter-posting to everything that's going out there. Controlled opposition to every anti-Trump statement out there, and then a focused offensive on getting his message out there and controlling the trolls. Create interactive polls that are going to bring people out from his group. Ensure that you are marketing and all posts that you push out are being pushed through boosts and focused on your demographic and your followership. He just needs somebody to do that for him. And you know, the problem is it's a $2 million venture. Someone's going to charge him $2 million to do it. And I think it's stupid. There's guys out there, there's marketers out there like myself that'll do it for $100,000. Work for the next 3 months and they'll give you the best social media campaigns you've ever seen. But you need to hire the people who know how to do it. You know? No, I haven't reached out to his campaign because I don't apply for jobs anymore. I'm 50 years old. If they want me, they know where I'm at. It's not like these people don't know who I am. I'm not small time. I'm not this, young guy just starting out in the world. I'm certainly not Charlie Kirk. I'm certainly not Ben Shapiro, but people know the show. And the show gets a ton of traffic and it gets a lot of interaction. And you heard it last night from Nino. Oh my God, Matt Spear, Don't Unfriend Me Show. Jason from Wimkin. Oh, I was trying to get Matt for 18 months. Damani Felder, I'm happy to come on. He's friend of the show. You build relationships and people watch your stuff. And the thing is they think you're untouchable. And that's the problem is I'm not. I'm very open. Very open. I will have anyone on this show. But you think, oh, well, in order to get Matt, I got to book him. Ask Mike McCarthy, who came on, the author, how easy it was. He emailed me and I'm like, sure, you're on the next night. Scott the other night, we got him on. So, if people want to be involved, they just need to ask. Of course, the DNC is trying to get Jill Stein removed. They want RFK off, too. If RFK leaves the race, that helps Donald Trump. So here's another video of someone just asked and said, hey, Matt, I got a question. They're putting bulletproof glass around Donald Trump. Well, this is normal. And all outside events should have bulletproof glass or plexiglass around Donald Trump. This was surprising to me in Butler. But I want you to watch something. What do you guys see in this video? I hate these engagement farm videos. People are like, what do you notice? Tell me what you notice. Just tell me what you notice, because I actually mean it. Make America great. This is Butler right before the shots. New video. Watch this.
Yeah, Joe Biden talks about we have to stop MAGA. MAGA means make America great again, Joe. It means make America great. That's all we want. Make America great again. Joe Biden talks about we.
What do you guys see? What do you see? Anybody tell me what they see? I'm just going to wait. Military personnel. That's fair. You see a tactical team, right? What are they doing? I will not tell Michelle happy birthday because it's on her birthday until the 17th. We've got it under control. Thank you very much. I know it's this weekend. Yes, happy birthday, but we've got a video coming for you. Matt, do you think Joe will step down securing Harris as the first female black president? Got an insight to the pros and cons on that? Yeah, I'll answer it in a second. Getting comms. Yep, they're getting comms for sure. They're getting told. Scouting. I think we're past the scouting phase. This guy's got glass in his hands. He's got binoculars. These guys are being spread out, and they're nervous. This is not what a tactical team looks like who's calm. That's reserve. That's in preventive maintenance mode. That are playing defense. They're looking for something. They have been made aware to spread out. They went into 20-foot spread versus 5-foot, where they're communicating and having communal conversation, to spreading out and recognizing that there's a threat. Everyone saw that, right? Yeah, not just guarding the perimeter, but now actively...
Adjusting transmitter output.
Sorry, scared the shit out of me. Hold on. Actively going into operational security and going from a position of defense and watching and surveilling to looking to engage. Spreading out, taking defensive positions, hurried forces, moving quickly, and getting ready to go. Get ready to punch the clock. Everyone agree? Nobody's pulled a trigger yet. What does that mean? It means that they knew that there was a threat, and Donald Trump's still on the stage. When we find out what comes out from this, you're going to find, and it's my understanding that another Secret Service agent, if I'm not mistaken, took time off and left her post either to go to the bathroom or breastfeed. I don't know if this is true or not. I just saw this. I saw another thing on the Daily Wire and also on Glenn Beck that's not certified that I haven't seen yet in regards to the feds altering photographs. There are a lot of stuff and a lot of things that are going to show that this was an inside job. And an inside job, as I don't believe the kid was an inside job. I believe that they purposely slow rolled and did not follow procedure because it was Donald Trump. That's what I believe. I believe that there was a dereliction of duty and they didn't care. Just whatever. I believe they got complacent. They're like, we haven't had an assassination attempt on a president since 1963 and 1984. Four? Second term? Right before? Yeah, I remember. I'm tired. And it got lackadaisical. But I truly believe that they just didn't care. I believe there's some groups that absolutely did care. And those are the people who got on stage trying to save his life. And I believe the TAC team cared. But for them to get that information as late as they did, there's something rotten. They have pictures of this guy, security footage of him on the phone, which means security in the building were watching him. They knew where he was at. Yeah, no plexiglass. A lot of his speeches don't have plexiglass, let's just be honest. But there should be. If you're going to speak outside, you should have plexiglass. It doesn't change it's like looking through hockey glass. I truly don't believe in conspiracy theory. I believe negligence is a perfect, reasonable position to take on this. That they just didn't care. That they recognized a threat. They had a threat from Iran. They didn't take it seriously. You guys got to understand, when you're doing operational security, you have to, it's like essentially playing left field in baseball. That's the best way I can describe it to you. Operational security is like left field in baseball. It is the most boring effing thing in the world. It is absolutely boring. And you do the same thing day in, same thing day out. March 30th, 1981. That's right. It was after 1980. Thank you. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Just a long day. Thanks, Tim. I knew I was wrong right when I said it. I knew I was wrong. I knew it was right after March 30th. That's right. To me, that's the best way to describe operational security, bodyguard work, HVT work. It literally is left field in baseball. And I think anyone here, yeah, Ronnie says security force is here to confirm. It is. It's running security is left field in baseball. And you have to keep yourself engaged in that game because that ball can be hit to you at any moment. And when it does, you have to be sharp and focused. It is it's like playing goalie in hockey and and the other end and the ice is tilted and you haven't faced a shot in 2 periods. Then you get a shot. You have to find a way to keep yourself completely focused. And I don't think they did. And that is a lack of leadership. That, I don't care for any other reason. I don't care. Anyone will tell you who's done security, who's done any type of defensive security, operational security, done details, security details, will tell you that you are not properly motivated by your supervisors. They are not going through the proper briefings. They're not checking with your mentality, making sure you're frosty, making sure you're engaged, not pulling people off the team and getting them some R&R and giving them a 72-hour pass so they can go get their wick dipped, or go get their drink on a little bit and then come back and get ready to rock and roll, or go get some sun or whatever it would be, or go see their loved one, or you're not boxing people's ears who need to be and breaking some people down because they're not doing their job right and screaming at people. Whatever it takes, you have to keep that team motivated and you have to keep left field engaged in the game, because if they go to sleep, they're going to get a blooper to left field and there's ball game. They knew Iran supposedly was threatening. They knew the kid had a rangefinder. They knew he was a person of interest. The moment you have a person of interest versus becoming a threat, if those guys that are running security detail on the outside perimeter are nervous, then they knew that there was an active shooter or a possible threat, and nobody pulled him off stage. Donald Trump should have been off stage. I'm telling you right now, this isn't the only attempt that's going to take place. This isn't over. I told you a long time ago, there is no way that they will let Donald Trump take office again. I told you this. I've been saying this for 4 years. There's no way they can let him do it. Why aren't heads rolling yet? Because the ones doing the rolling are the heads that need rolling. If this was Barack Obama's detail, can you imagine what would happen? Folks, they're never going to let him take office again. Nobody can sit here and tell me that they think that Donald Trump is going to sit in the White House ever again. I mean, are you serious? Do you actually believe that they're going to let him after what they've done to him? They're not going to let him. That's why people go, Matt, you always sound like you think Donald Trump won't be president again. Yeah. Do I think he can win the election? Maybe. Do I think he will? Probably not. Will he sit in the White House? Probably not. Do I think Obama is involved? Here's my comment to that. Is how can Obama not be involved? He just got Kamala Harris put in as the presumptive nominee. I told you they were going to try to shoot him. I said that before Bongino. Leroy and I said that like 6 months after the 2020 election and said they are now. I told you the day after he lost. I said, no, Deborah, I'm not giving up. I never had hope to begin with, so it's not me quitting. I told you guys that they were going to, the moment that in 2020, when he retired and he got out and he was no longer the president, not retired, but he was no longer the president and essentially became a civilian. I said now he gets to look forward to 4 years of persecution and civil trials and criminal trials until the election. And if that doesn't get him, then the last chance is they're going to try to take him out. I told you that. I've been saying that everyone knows. I've been saying that for 4 years. When they took a shot at him, ask my wife what I said. I said, I fucking knew it. I said this before Bongino. I said this before Beck. I said this before Kirk, Shapiro, all of them. All of them. The day after 2020, when the election was called, after J6 happened and after Biden was sworn in, I said, now the real war on Donald Trump will begin. And it's going to be, they're going to try to financially ruin him and throw him in jail. And then I inadvertently said, when you have Hitler, what would you not do to stop him? Everyone knew what I was saying. I wasn't going to say it because of the Secret Service, and I don't need that hassle. They don't need to come talk to me. They got enough shit to do. They've got 3,000 legitimate freaking threats a month to investigate. They don't need to come to me, so I'm not going to say those things. Yeah, I know when JFK was assassinated, and I knew when Reagan was shot. I just tired. November 22nd, 1963, 12:03 p.m. Dallas time. Confirmed dead at 12:47 p.m. Believe. Might be 51. Either way. But listen, am I trying to I'm just trying to be realistic. It's not that I believe that Donald Trump doesn't have the ability to win an election. It's what are they going to do to try to stop him from taking office? They've already said he's a threat to our democracy, that he's a threat to this country, that he'll never give up power again. They believe that a military coup is ultimately worthwhile in order to stop him. They weaponized the DOJ against him. They went after him civilly. They penalized him with $500 million, the largest penalty ever in U.S. history for a single human being, and more than most corporations. Russian collusion, Mueller investigation, P-tapes, spies on his campaign, Strucken Page, FBI, CIA, Brennan, Tapper, Comey, all working against him. Jeff Sessions coming in as Attorney General, recusing himself, leaving Trump out to dry, perfectly orchestrated. John Bolton, the biggest neocon warhawk ever, gets appointed as SecDef. Tries to lead Trump into war and conflict. Tries to get him to hit North Korea. Tries to get him to hit Iran. Everything they did was designed to hurt him, to kill him, to destroy his presidency. And you guys think that they're not going to try take another shot? Tracy Chandler decided to go ahead. Oh, Tracy's from Loudoun County. our good friend. Hello, King. I won't say your place, Tracy. I love to see her in Virginia. Enjoy your Dumb Show shirt. It's great to have Virginia person in here. I didn't tell him where you're from. Welcome. Thanks for picking up a shirt. Folks, linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. We are finally almost back to where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be at 1750 by the end of tonight. We're at 1570.97. We are trying to hit 3,500 a month. When you look at our overall bills when it comes to streaming, broadcasting, lights, the overall work we do, we have to pay for software. We have to pay for storage space. We have to pay for streaming costs. We have to pay for the internet. All these things cost an exuberant amount of money. We are literally streaming to 7 different channels in 4K. We put out about 75 terabytes of information monthly. That costs a lot of money with Comcast. Our internet bill alone is $1,000 a month. So there was a point where we didn't mind paying that because we were doing really well in Facebook, but they cut our legs out from underneath us and they demonetized our ability to earn from Rights Manager. You notice how we don't have stars on here. So they won't allow us to even though it's our biggest channel, you can see 197,128 people. And that number used to go up 10,000 a week. Now it goes up 1,000 a month. It's pathetic. They've really hurt our channel, and we're not quitting. We've got great friends at Wimkin who are taking care of us, but we still need your help. So if you can help us, you like the show, you like the content, you think it's great, you love Amy and Leroy and Olivia, and you guys want us to stay together, this is how we do it. linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. We appreciate you. Now, there's a lot of people who've carried water, and these are the people who constantly, they can't always give. We need other people to step up. And if you're just like, listen, there's a show I want to give back to. This is the show. We're always going to be honest with you. We're always going to be straight up with you. You may not love me all the time. You may not like what I have to say all the time, but it doesn't mean that I'm ever going to let you down and not tell you the truth. We are about to go into our Super Bowl. The next 90 days, you are going to get the best election coverage right here because we're only going to cover the things that are truly important. We're only going to tell you the things that we see. And we have a fantastic record from 2020, 2022, and 2023. Midterms, primaries, we were the station that got it right. 2020, we gave you almost a 100% accurate count of everything that was going to take place. 2022, we were 99.6%. And the only reason it wasn't 99 is some guy in Ohio that I said it looks like he was going to lose. And then obviously there was a flip and he came back and won. We do a good job. So help us out if you can. Please do that. Yeah, Deborah says they will try again, and this time it'll be someone professional. There's a really good chance of that. Listen, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be honest with you. They can't let him take office again. They can't. They've got their marching orders. Charles Schwab and the New World Order, what did they say? If Donald Trump gets in, there goes all the hope and plans for globalism. They said that yesterday. Obama's got his marching orders. Listen, anyone that says the Democrats don't want globalism, they don't want one world currency, one world government, you're not paying attention to what their term papers were in college. Give me a break. This is Matt. Who are we talking to? What's up, Canada? What's up?
Just on your last monologue about this whole Trump assassination thing, yes, yeah. Definitely, it is definitely not over. Like,
no way.
No way. And they're going to go beyond. Like, if he does actually win, they're still going to try, because that's just how it rolls. And with all these new pictures and whatever coming out with Mr. whatever his name is, Crook or Cook or whatever's wearing the same clothes as, and with the digitally altered badges of people that were in the crowd, I'm like, yeah, this is far from over. Like, this has been planned. This has been going on since Donald walked down the escalator in 2016. So
yep.
Trust me, this has been a long time plan, and Roe is definitely not on Trump's side. He needs to go along with what her name, Chattel or whatever her name is, because he's the one ultimately that has been guiding all of this, whatever crap that's been going on lately. And yeah, he is in the tank for the other side of the ticket. He's not.
What happened with Bongino and oh God, I can't remember her name.
Who, Kellyanne?
Kellyanne Conway. What is it? Is it pretty big? Hold on. Let's.
I didn't get to see that yet.
Let's do it together.
I just got back from work today, so yeah.
Okay,
I'm
hold
kind
on.
of
I'm
behind
gonna look it up.
That kind of stuff, but yeah.
Hold on. How come there's no video of this? Oh, okay. I wasn't going to expose her like this. Hold on. I'm going to try to find this thing. Okay, here it is. I got it. I found it. Research team is so good. All right, Mel, listen.
Passionately against and actually worked against it repeatedly against political violence than me. You know exactly what I was saying, and you put this out there. I don't know who put it up to you, who put you up to it, to shut me up. Inspiring violence by telling her it is a warning, and it was a warning against this. So now you want to F around, Kurt Bordello, or whatever the hell your name is, you dipshit. Now we're going to talk about it twice because you tried your little left-wing tactics to shut me down. Lead to violence? Are you insane? Are you on drugs? Are you always this stupid? Or is it just like a Thursday, Wednesday thing? I'm warning these people out there now. If you're going to sabotage the ticket, I am going to expose who you are. And if you say, oh my gosh, that's going to lead to, you're just doing the left-wing tactic. And now we're going to expose what I'm talking about because of you. So Kellyanne and others, you can thank Kurt for opening his stupid mouth and saying something.
You guys remember I have went against Kellyanne Conway how many effing times and told you that watch out for her. I also warned you about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you still don't believe me. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kellyanne Conway, and Tulsi Gabbard, all three of them are wolves in sheep clothing. They are not your friends. They are not the ticket's friends. They've never been that way. Kellyanne Conway is a merc. She goes to the highest bidder. Tulsi Gabbard all of a sudden has abandoned her entire platform and ideology and flipped parties. No, that's not what's happened. She's never been that way. And if you believe that, then you believe that Kamala Harris, you might as well vote for her because now Kamala Harris is a moderate. If Tulsi Gabbard flipped and is a moderate, then so is Kamala Harris because she was just as much a socialist progressive as she was. And as far as Marjorie Taylor Greene took over $172,000 from Kevin McCarthy. She voted to keep Kevin McCarthy in place. Give me a break. These people are not your friends. Mel, are you still here? Oh, crap. We lost Mel. I'm sorry, Mel.
Dumb. Anyone out there want to go out and compile the 1,000+ times I've told people you engage in any political violence, you're not welcome on my show? This is what left-wingers do. This is exactly what they do to shut you down. It is a warning. It was a warning against this. Kellyanne Conway, Politico, becomes the latest DC power player linked to Victor Pinchuk. Folks, you know who Victor Pinchuk is?
Yep.
So let's go over this slowly and show you exactly, because folks, listen, I promise you, okay? This always makes me.
Tulsi Gabbard was put on the terrorist watch list. So what? Isn't it interesting? How many other people who have been speaking out for years aren't on the terrorist watch list? Why isn't Shapiro on the terrorist watch list? Why isn't Charlie Kirk on the terrorist watch list? Why am I not on the terrorist watch list? Why isn't Bongino on the terrorist watch list? Why isn't Damani Felder on the terrorist watch list? But all of a sudden, Tulsi Gabbard gets on the terrorist watch list? Geez, it's almost like a sacrificial lamb or a Trojan horse. Throw her on the terrorist watch list, and now all of a sudden she earns instant credibility, and people like you, Carrie, go, she's on the terrorist watch list. Do you see how that works? You guys are all about conspiracy theory. You're all about, how come that isn't thought about? Do you know how many hundreds of conservative commentators are not on the terrorist watch list? Bongino and I say a lot of the same stuff. We're not on the terrorist watch list. What does Tulsi Gabbard say that got her on the terrorist watch list that we haven't said? I'm telling you right now, Tulsi Gabbard is not a friend of the conservatives. She is not. She is a progressive. She believes in gun control. She believes in late-term abortion. She believes in lowering the defense budget. She believes in mail-in ballots. She believes in cashless bail. She does not believe in voter ID. She believes in increasing the minimum wage. She believes in climate change, regulation on business, and throttling of fracking and oil production and energy production in the United States. Give me a break. She's a liberal. Beyond liberal, she's a leftist. I think you're damn right I'm right. It's not interesting. Her on the terrorist watch list is like, you know what? To me, that sends up a red flag. Listen, you guys are all a lot of you are conspiracy theorists. I'm not. And that sends up a red flag for me. Why is she on it? Nobody else is. Why isn't Tucker Carlson on the terrorist watch list? I know you don't like Tulsi. I'm not coming down on you. I'm just saying, I don't care that she's on the terrorist. That sends a red flag to me. The people who should be on a terrorist watch list are people like Nick Fuentes, Stu Peters, Jake Shields, people who ultimately are espousing that Hitler was misunderstood. Those people need to be on a watch list. The people who are white nationalists, the people who are black who say white people need to be eradicated from the planet, those people need to be on terrorist watch lists. Hamas, Antifa, and yes, even some far-right groups need to be on the terrorist watch list.
Uneasy. I'm not trying to sell you any of these books. I don't care. Get them from the library. Borrow them from your friends. I genuinely don't care. I'm one of the few guys who's asking you intentionally, don't buy my books. I don't care. I'm just trying to tell you, I have been on this for a long time.
It looks like we have a first-time donator, which is really exciting to see because that means that we're getting out there, right? And people are going, all right, you know what? I like the story. I like what's being said. I think I'm going to go ahead and donate. Thank you, Michael Marletta. I believe it's Michael Marletta. My wife has not hit it yet. She's going to any second, and you'll get your name in lights. But I figured I would just tell you thank you before she did. But that's going to pop up any second. Thank you so much for the donation. We can't survive without it. It absolutely helps us out. Thank you. Let's listen to the rest.
Conway worries me. I'm going to show you what I mean in a second in my book. Kellyanne Conway is working for
Mel,
Victor
I'm
Pinchuk.
sorry.
Here
I'm
it is
sorry.
in Politico, right?
Mel, I'm sorry you hung up. I wasn't done with you. I'm sorry. You can come back.
Shitico. But they're not wrong. She's got a contract with the Pinchuk Foundation, which runs through November 14th, election season. Comes with a $50,000 a month retainer fee. Kellyanne Conway will advise Victor Pinchuk on the current state of views on Ukraine. Oh, look, they note that J.D. Vance's name in there, too. Kellyanne Conway was no fan of J.D. Vance. Now you see where all this negative stuff is coming from?
There you go.
Do I have to put this together?
No, you don't. It's the same thing like Ann Coulter. It's the same reason Ann Coulter flipped on Trump. It's the same reason Kellyanne Conway. They are paid mercs. They are mercs. They are just as bad as the frickin' people who made money off the Jews and blood in the streets. When there's blood in the streets, buy real estate. They're mercs. It's Game of Thrones to these people. They don't care. If Donald Trump doesn't win in 2024, there will be conservatives channels who abandon Donald Trump and disavow themselves from him. They will curse the MAGA movement. At least I've been doing it since 2016, and being honest with you. MAGA hasn't won anything in 8 years. We won the 2016 election. We lost the House 2018. We lost the Senate 2020. Went ahead and got our butts kicked in 2020. We got 17 out of 17 of Donald Trump supported candidates who believed in J6 and a stolen election, all lost. Majewski, Walker, Carrie Lake, Mohammed Oz. Would you like me to go on? Everybody lost. We got our butt kicked in 2022 when we expected a red wave to come through. And folks, I'm letting you know right now, at least I've always told you that the MAGA movement is getting its butt kicked. And it has been. Now, we got to make sure it doesn't. But there are people going to jump ship. They're all going to jump ship. The moment that the bellwether changes, the moment that the weathercock says something other than north, they are going to flip on Donald Trump and bury him. And that'll be the day after the election if he doesn't win. Trust me when I say this, these people are cowards. Bongino will not flip. I will not flip. I don't know who else won't. I don't think Tucker Carlson will stay true to Trump because he doesn't even like Trump. We know this. The MAGA movement, people are going to disassociate themselves like rats on a ship if it doesn't win in 2024. And I think that's a mistake. I believe the movement is good. I believe the platform should be adopted by the RNC, and it should be a focus for every single candidate. But we have got to figure out how to win. But Bongino is 100% right on this, folks. I don't even listen to Bongino. And the reason I don't listen to Bongino is because if I wanted to listen to myself, I would just watch my stuff. We don't disagree on much. He gets a little kooky sometimes on some of his conspiracy theory. And he gets a little touchy-feely like Glenn Beck when he's like, I'm not saying the end of the world's going to happen tomorrow, but I know somebody, and I'm just saying you better have your life insurance and your soul better be clean with God. You know, a little bit too much of that for me sometimes, but he's a very smart man. And he, you know what? I would kill to have his audience. I admire the man beyond reproach, and I have no desire to listen to his show because I already know what he's going to say. But abandoning Donald Trump and turning against him in order to make a profit with the flavor of the week of whoever the next Republican candidate is going to be, remember this, it's probably going to be Glenn Youngkin. And I have already told you I love Glenn Youngkin. So when I start backing Glenn Youngkin up, if he doesn't hold true to Agenda 47, I'm going to challenge him. But here's the thing, he will, because he is a true conservative. I didn't say Tucker will go liberal. He will dump Donald Trump in a New York minute. He will abandon Donald Trump in a New York minute. I told you I don't trust Tucker Carlson as far as I can throw him. I'm sorry. I don't. I think he's just as bad as Candace Owens. I think he hates the Jews. I really do. I think he's on this I hate the Jews movement. And I think he lost his Fox audience, and now he's doing what Candace is doing and getting a piece of bread and soaping up all the people who hate Jews. That's what they're doing. They're doing the far right thing. It makes money. It's where it's at now. Go watch Candace Owens now. Go listen to Candace Owens and tell me she's not completely off her rocker. Completely off her rocker. Even speaking out against Trump. I'm not trying to create division. I'm just calling balls and strikes. I'm just telling you the truth. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me Candace Owens hasn't lost her rocker. She believes that we only sent one person to the moon. One person to the moon. Candace Owens is intelligent. She's smart, but she's kind of lost her mind. Ben Shapiro broke her. Sorry. I'll say it. And she's actually maligning herself with people like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes he hates Trump. He doesn't like Trump. Trump likes Jews. Why would he vote for Trump? Folks, I got some clips to show you. Let's listen to the rest of Bongino, and then I'm going to show you some Nick Fuentes stuff. And I hope all his little gripers call in. I'd love to own them again.
For everyone out there, including Kurt Bordello of whatever, this freaking moron. What is he, some kind of swampy D-bag? Politico also notes that Victor Pinchuk has long been making cameos in U.S. politics.
You got to mute the show for me, caller. And who are you and where are you from?
Hey, this is Joseph from Minnesota.
What's up, Joseph from Minnesota? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted to talk about what you were talking about with the hosts that are selling out to get views, to get clicks, to get all that.
Yep.
I agree with you on Candace. I used to think she, I really liked her. I thought she had, I agreed with a lot of stuff she said, but now it seems to be, like you said, anti-Jew, just going with the whatever gets her, the conspiracy theories, this and that.
Yeah.
I can't even watch. So
yeah,
I just wanted to.
It's where the money's going to be.
Yeah, and your boy Benny, he's kind of the same way.
Yeah, Benny's at the pro-Russia tip. Candace is the anti-Jew tip. And so you got a group of people going to pro-Russia, and then you got a group of people going anti-Jew. And here I am just going, man, I thought we were all American first patriots. What where's that BS? Where's that crap going? Remember when it used to be America, America, America? I don't trust any of these people. I think there's parts of the right that are just as toxic and dangerous as the left. I disassociate myself with them. I really do. You guys want to listen to people? Listen to Bongino. He knows what he's talking about. Don't be afraid to listen to people like Bill Maher. You don't have to agree with him, but he says a lot of things that are really, really smart. And he exposes some of these. He exposed Candace Owens. Oh my God, he just destroyed her. Destroyed Candace Owens. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do like Bill Maher. He takes it from, he's just not programmed into the narrative. He in his own, what he sees, and he calls everyone out, whether it's liberals or the right or whatever. He just,
and he can be full of, Joseph, he can be full of crap. He can be full of crap, and I don't like what he says about God, and I don't like what he said about some of our soldiers, and I don't necessarily believe what he believes with abortion, and he finds more value in animals than babies. I'm not saying emulate Bill Maher. What I'm saying is listen to him, because he exposes a lot of the corruption in Hollywood, and he doesn't like a lot of this stuff. And fiscally, he's a conservative, not socially, but fiscally, he's fairly conservative. He always has been kind of a moderate. But there's other people to listen to, right? I mean, I would expect people listen to Glenn Beck once in a while. The Blaze comes up with some good stuff, not always. Don't be afraid to listen to Shapiro. Don't be afraid to listen to the other side. Don't even be afraid to listen to Candace. But what I'm saying is, if you think these people are going to remain loyal to Donald Trump, you got another thing coming. They're going to protect their revenue streams. That is what they're going to focus on, and they are going to flip. And I'm going to tell you what I've always told you. If he loses the day after, I'm going to tell you this. We had Ron DeSantis. We had Nikki Haley. We had a really good ticket. We didn't do it. We lost. Let's move on. Now we got to find a way to reclaim the House and the Senate and build again. But it's not going to be anything I haven't been saying for 4 years. You know what I mean, Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about all this? What do you think about what do you think? Real quick, what do you think about how Donald Trump's doing in this campaign? Do you think he's on the right track? Do you think he needs to reset? What do you think?
Well, I think he has to reset. I don't think he's really on the right track.
Okay.
To tell you the truth. I think his back's against the wall. I think big tech, he has to battle against that. And like you brought up with Google, and it's far beyond that. And social media, he's blacked out on a lot of things.
Yeah, he is.
People don't get information. If they do get information on Trump, it's all negative. It's a hard battle.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can do.
Well, what he can do is he's got to go after her, but she has got to get into the fight. You can't fight someone who just is staying in their corner. And every time you go in after him, they move to the left or to the right. That's all she's doing. She's avoiding hits. She does not want to be interviewed before the DNC. Okay? She doesn't. She wants to have damage control. Why? Okay, Joe, you're a smart guy. Okay? Why is she waiting until the DNC? Do you know why? Come on, I know you know this. Why is she waiting?
She don't
Do you
want to
know?
expose herself.
Nah, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Hold on. Stop. The three things I say these bastards always care about: money, power, votes. Which one is it?
I don't.
How many
I guess
states?
she wants the money.
Yeah, she does. But how many states start early voting on the day the DNC starts?
Yeah.
That's it. She wants the
Want
votes.
to herself to the voters before the DNC. That
There you
they already
go.
have a narrative.
That a boy.
They
That a boy.
have this narrative that the media is pushing out in their campaign of all of their talking points and everything. And they don't want to expose her
That's
for
right.
what she really is.
Yeah. You want to get this freight train going and get the early vote first. So they want to go ahead and get that lead across many of these states that are going to open up early voting. So let her have the DNC. It'll control the news cycle. She won't have to answer any questions. She won't have to do any interviews. Then they're just going to push them to the end of the month. And then now you're going to be in September. And your window is so small that she can start going ahead and answering questions slowly, start releasing her platform. But early voting is what they're going for. It's the same thing they did with Joe Biden. They put him in the basement until the early voting started. Then they started releasing him a little bit. They're not going to release her until early voting starts. That's what this is about.
It's their strategy.
Yeah, it's a smart strategy. So what does Donald Trump have to do? If I was him, I would get in those early voting states as hard as I possibly could. I would be hitting those states. Yep. And I would be sending JD Vance. I'd be sending every single person who's worked with me: Byron Donaldson, Vivek Ramaswamy, Carrie Lake, Sarah Huckabee. And I would be sending every major county where it's purple and staffing it with pro-Trump rallies during the DNC. That's what I would be doing. So you can turn some of these early votes. But I just don't know if he has that type of person setting up his campaign. You know what I mean?
Right. I watched his press conference today, but I kind of missed the question, but it was regarding Nikki Haley and Trump. I don't remember exactly what the question was, but it was in reference to Nikki Haley. And he said that he beat her badly in South Carolina, but he does want to hopefully go out and help him on the campaign and campaign for him. But he didn't say anything really negative about her. He just said he beat her badly.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then she said she's an intelligent woman, this and that. But he kind of boosted himself up before.
Well, that's Donald Trump. He still knows that she has a lot of the votes out there. And him not picking her as VP was probably what's going to cost him this election. If anything costs him this election, it's probably going to be that. Just FYI.
I didn't at first, but then, you look at it, the big picture of it and how many votes she would get, and with the suburban wives and that area as well, and how many votes she got.
Yep.
Again, she'd bring in the moderates, like you said, I believe.
Maybe someone should give me a contract for saying that for 4 years and standing by my guns and getting blasted by every human being on the planet who hated Nikki Haley. And you know what? I'll give myself credit. I never defended her. I just defended the votes. That's it. Never defended her, just the votes.
JD doesn't bring that in. He doesn't bring the suburban, the moderates.
No, he's a white guy.
He just brings in a little bit more of maybe getting more votes in the redneck states.
Well, you would have put Nikki Haley on the ticket. You would have won New Hampshire because Sununu would have pulled. And then Pennsylvania, Virginia would have been in play because she's very popular out here. Youngkin would have wrapped her. It would have been Nikki Haley and Glenn Youngkin touring in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia. Are you kidding me? Delmarva would have been absolute Nikki Haley and Glenn Youngkin country, because you know what Nikki Haley would do is she goes, when we win and I run in 2028, Glenn Youngkin's gonna be my vice president. Holy shit, forget about it, because those two on a ticket, It very well may be the ticket in 2028. We're going to have to realize that we have to stop cutting each other's throats, that there's talent in this party, and we are just bloodletting our own people. It's got to stop. We're making it too easy for the liberals.
Well, I heard something that Trump said that the VP doesn't really matter in a presidential election, but I disagree with that.
This one it does.
Election, it's very important, the VP.
Why is that,
Especially,
Joe? Why is it important now more than ever?
Well, for one thing, Trump's older, and
yes,
he can't run again. That's one issue. Another issue is they know, deep down, they know Camelo's not presidential material.
Look what we just saw. We just saw the vice president get installed. You're telling me the vice president's, you're not saying this, this is rhetorical. Vice president's not important. Vice president was just installed as the incumbent nominee and didn't have one single vote. They took 14 million votes and just lit them on fire, dumped Biden and put her in. VP is the only thing that matters right now. By the way, real quick, Caroline says a lot of people don't like Haley though. No, a lot of people who are already voting for Trump and will continue to vote for Trump don't like Haley. He's already got those people. Moderates do. 21% of the country voted for her in the primaries. 21% of Texas voted for her. I said if she had 13% of the national vote, if he didn't pick her, he would have been a fool. She had 19 to 21% of the national vote, and he makes it even a bigger fool. There has never been, a potential vice presidential candidate who's had 21% of the national vote. Not making her VP was the dumbest possible thing, or at least giving her Secretary of State so she's been touring and campaigning with you and winning over her votes, sticking her in New Hampshire, in Virginia, in Delaware, in Maryland, in Pennsylvania. These are places where if you can flip one of those, the election is yours. You flip Pennsylvania, you flip Virginia, this election's over. Over. Now, Glenn Youngkin's not saying anything about Trump. Nikki Haley's not saying anything about Trump. DeSantis isn't saying anything about Trump. Nobody's out there for him. The coalition was torn apart and destroyed. The people who were running on that stage they did not remain loyal to each other. They destroyed each other, they went after each other, and they all lost credibility. We've got to do a better job. Anyway, Joseph, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna wrap up here and let you go. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, always a pleasure talking to you, Matthew. I learn something every day. I listen. Watch.
Always, brother. Always. I love it when you call. Thanks for all your help and everything you do for us. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. See you, Joseph. All right. One last video, and we'll go on a humorous note. I swear to God, I had to change my shorts like 7 times. This is so cringeworthy. Enjoy.
We're not going back. We're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We're not going back. Voting for our freedoms. We're not going back. Control of our own bodies. We're not going back. Just like a tree.
Your bodies can't do anything anymore. It is a dried up cupboard with one lowly spider and a wrapped up cocooned moth. You can't have abortions anymore. Move on. And you should never wish for your daughters and granddaughters to have abortions. You're not going back anywhere. You can still murder babies. What is wrong with you people? You're just, I can't stand it.
That's planted by the water. We're not going back. Voting for our sisters. We're not going back. Voting for our brothers. We're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water.
There's the one black friend. And I don't know if she's black. I think she's Indian. I don't know. But white people, This isn't required. You don't have to do this. Slavery is over. Civil rights it's been decided. The cause, the fight is over. Nobody wants to go back to 1950 when it comes to racial segregation. Nobody. Even the South, they've matured. They've grown up. What are you talking about? We ain't going back? We ain't going back to what? What are you so afraid of? None of you were oppressed. Not one person on this freaking dais, on this porch step, was oppressed. What are you talking about?
We're not going back. Voting for our daughters, we're not going back. Voting for their future, we're not going back. Just like a tree that's planted by the water, we're not going back.
White people, you got to give yourself a break. Okay? I understand white guilt. Okay? I get it. I understand that white people have a lot of burden for things that have happened in this country that aren't good. But let's be honest when we can say that most of the good things that have happened in this country had a lot to do with white people, black people, brown people, women, men, gay, straight, Christian, conservative, non-conservative, liberals, bull moose party, Whig party, anti-federalist, federalist, orthodox, Hungarian frickin' basket weavers. The bad things are not just black people's fault or white people's fault, the same as the good. It's not all because of them. It's not because of them. You can let yourself off the hook. It's over, okay? The one thing that we know is that every single person, this was set for us a long time ago, that all are created equal, that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There are no systemic laws anymore of racism. There are no laws that you have that men don't, that women don't, that women do, that men do. You can let yourself off the hook. It's okay. Your white guilt you can shed the skin of white guilt. You can let it go. But this whole crap that you're singing songs of "We Ain't Going Back" like you're some Southern Baptist black church, it's offensive. It's stupid. We're not going back because you sang that song. No, said no one ever. We're not going back because as a society we've moved forward. We realize that racial segregation, that slavery, that prejudice and degradation based upon skin color is stupid. And anyone who does believe that gets called out. I respect the fact that that's a church song. That is not a church song. That is pandering. That is white guilt. That is virtue signaling, and it's complete crap. It is a joke. The last thing, and then we're done. I got to go. But I got to show this one because this one bothers me. And I've went after this guy several times. And I'm going to do it again. And remember what I said.
You know what else I'm going to say? If they don't listen, I will escalate my tactics. I will escalate my tactics in swing states. I will go to swing states. I will go to the ones where they're in trouble the most, and I will make it worse. And I'll bring the groypers with me. And that I vow. So that's what we'll do. And you know what else I'm going to say? If they don't listen.
Nick Fuentes, this little maggot of a piece of Just dog shit. First curse word. I have went after this guy so many times. I wish he had the testicular fortitude to call my show. Because this guy pretended that he was a Donald Trump supporter. Donald Trump was one of the largest supporters of Israel and Jewish Americans in the United States. Abraham Accords, recognizing Jerusalem and recognizing the capital, recognizing the sovereignty of Israel, doing anti-defamation and hate policy, singling and targeting of Jews. This guy was the worst Nazi ever that Nick Fuentes wanted him to be. And because Donald Trump disassociated himself from this little bitch, he's crying like a little girl. You can change your set. You can put all the palm fronds you want. You can put the 1970s paneling all over there. You can put on your mirrored sunglasses and your little tiny little Hitler mustache. Nobody cares but a bunch of people who are too stupid to realize what you are. You're an anti-Semitic wannabe Nazi twat. I hope all the Groypers they don't call in anymore. I wonder why. I guess it's going to take King Nick to call in. But the rule is, King Nick doesn't do these shows anymore. You're too small time. Well, fine. But if someone was calling me those names and someone was challenging me every other night, I probably would go out there and take them out. Go have that conversation with him. Because here's the thing. Nick Fuentes can school me on all the biblical references. He can tell me all the things about Israel and the Rothschilds. He can tell me about Judea. He can tell me about Palestine. He can tell me about the currency. He can tell me about the Talmud. He can tell me about the Quran. He can tell me all these things because this is all he lives. But if I ask him to tell me anything that's worthwhile, what does love feel like? What does it feel like to stand on the top of Notre Dame? What does it feel like to be on El Capitan? What does it feel like to climb Mount Fuji? Sistine Chapel. What's the weather like in Vietnam? What are the color of the beaches on Bali? Tell me about the vision of the founding fathers and actually what was the dilemma between the anti-federalists and the federalists? What were the conflictions that they actually had with England and where did we agree with England? How did this create overall trade from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, in the Middle East? And how did it affect the overall advancement of the United States by taking away the money that England actually promised us? Did it plunge us into civil war? Was it the best thing that we could do? Or could we have done something else? Could England have decided not to have a revolution? Or when they did have a revolution, to go ahead and invest in the United States and help the southern colonies rise up so we didn't have a civil war? What was Frederick Douglass's aunt's name? What did the Buffalo Soldiers do? What were the Tuskegee experiments? And why should black people be trepidatious? He doesn't know anything. He's a kid. He is a young man who has never felt the touch of a woman. He doesn't know anything except that hate sells. That he can inspire people who are less than him to want to emulate his thought processes for acceptance. I have the dummies, but what I would never say is I'm going to bring the dummies with me, because that would mean that they're brainless automatons. I couldn't mask these people to do anything, because the thing I encourage is that they become free thinkers. And they don't just listen to me, that they listen to all different sides and formulate their own opinions. You are just as bad as a patent clerk who pretends that he's Einstein. You're not Einstein. You're not Gandhi. You're not Mother Teresa. You're the guy that works in the fucking post office who thinks that he's Einstein. You're a little putz. So take your votes, take your groypers, take your neo-Nazi fascist wannabe dickheads who don't have the balls to shave their head and wear Doc Martens, and just go away into irrelevancy. You hate Jews. Congratulations. You're not the only asshole in the world, Nick. There's plenty of other people who hate Jews now, and they're stealing your thunder. And you're crying, and you're whining, and you're taking your football and going home because you're a fucking baby. You're a baby. So that's what I feel about Nick Fuentes. He's more than happy to call me. He won't show up. He'll never show up. And if he does show up, he's going to go ahead and say, well, let's talk about everything Jew. And then he'll try to go ahead and corner me and to make me sound like a Zionist. Honestly, if you're truly America first, then you would believe that people get to have whatever opinions they want, and you can dissect them and talk about them all you want. But instead, all you do is talk about your rhetoric. And anyone who doesn't believe in what you are, you label them as a Zionist. You know who that sounds like? Liberals. Nick Fuentes is most assuredly just a giant leftist who doesn't know he's a leftist. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. I appreciate it. And there's nothing wrong with being a postal worker, just not being a postal worker who pretends that they're Einstein, because he's not. Yeah, people follow him all the time. And I've been calling this guy out that he's not a Republican. He's not a conservative. He's not a Trump supporter. He's an opportunist. He's just like all the other shills. A horrible human being. Horrible. And I'm sorry I used bad language. I said I wasn't going to, but fuck that guy. Anyway, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show, folks. I appreciate you. Do me a favor. Tomorrow we'll be on at 7 o'clock. We will have a full house. No, we won't. Leroy, myself, and Olivia will be here. Can't wait to see you. Please stop by. Folks, do me a favor. If you liked the show, you thought it was great, you thought it was fun, we are really close to our goal. We're about $200, actually $170 off from being right down the middle of where we're supposed to be for the month. If you have a chance, you're taking care of your loved ones, taking care of your vacation, kids got all their back to school clothes, grandkids are taken care of with a few bucks. Maybe you can help us out at the Don't Unfriend Me show, giving us a few dollars if you would not mind. And maybe one day we'll become big enough where we can get Nick Fuentes on our show and have a conversation. Because honestly, I don't want to yell at the guy. I don't want to call him names. I just want to know why he hates Jews. And I want to get him to say it. I just want him to say, and you know what? At least I can respect him after that. He'll go in the way of Bernie Sanders. I'll put him in the column of David Duke. Is at least they don't lie about how they really feel. Bernie Sanders is a communist, and he's proud of it. David Duke is an open racist, and I don't like either of them. But I at least have to respect that they don't lie about who they are. Nick Fuentes is under a giant piece of denial. One is that he is most assuredly a person who hates Jews. And the second is that he is gayer than a $3 bill, and he doesn't know it. When that guy comes out of the closet, there is going to be holy hell to pay inside of his internal conflict. That I wish I was a fly on the wall for. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Olivia will be here too. Say hello. Thanks for watching. Go over to thedumshow.com. Pick yourself up a shirt, hat, t-shirt, whatever. If you didn't make the 15% off tonight, you'll get it tomorrow. Stop on by. It'll be there tomorrow, and we will see you then. God bless everybody. See ya.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.